So I'm here with Tony
Germinario.
Tony Germinario. He's the filmmaker behind Bad Frank, which the film was nominated at our festival in Milan. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
So yeah, if you could just start by giving us a brief synopsis about the film.
Sure. Bad Frank is about a guy who has impulse control disorder and basically has ruined every relationship he had in his life growing up. And now he's trying to right the ship. So he has gotten married. He's trying to reconnect with his family. And just as he does, he comes off his medication.
Right.
And people from his past come back to haunt him, and he just winds up going crazy from there and turns back into Bad Frank. And it's a big downward spiral from there.
And why did you decide to make, there's obviously a background to this. How did this come about?
I actually had done a previous film, which was a romantic comedy, which is the complete opposite of what this film is. And I actually woke up one morning and the idea popped into my head. I had an idea of just a kidnap thriller type film. Wrote the initial script for it. We kind of tweaked it from there, and that's where Bad Frank came from.
Because interesting with a rom-com, because the whole thing is a comedy, it's good fun. But is there a point you finished making, got that out and you thought, I really don't want to do a film like that again? No, I mean that in the best possible way.
Yeah. No, it was, I wanted to do something totally different. I have so many diverse film tastes, different directors, different types of films that I watch. I made the rom-com. I was like, all right, I did that. And I didn't actually direct that one, I just wrote it.
Yeah.
I said, for the next one, I want to take a little bit more control over what comes out on the film.
Yeah.
And that's basically the direction I want to go in. So I said, I want to do something that's different, something that no one would expect from me. And that's what came out.
So of course now you've got to research this. How do you go about researching the disorder? How do you do that?
My mom actually used to work in a mental health center.
Right.
And so I had a little bit of knowledge about it. I spoke to her a little bit about it. As we were starting to develop the character, we looked into what types of medications he might potentially be on. So we found a couple different ones that actually fit the profile. And from there it was just, how do we build the psychosis of a guy who just has no filter. If you say something to him, he's just as much to respond back as punch you in the face. So that's kind of what this turned out to be.
Right, okay.
So it's a little crazy.
And I'm guessing, I know you say you've got quite a lot of material behind you, including the rom-com. So are you sort of in a position where, I don't want to say you can make anything you like, I mean life's not that simple of course, but how do you go about now getting funding together for this and getting all the bits and pieces in place?
Well, that's the $100,000 question, literally.
Literally, yeah.
Getting the funding is something, once people start seeing your films, you start getting a little bit of interest, right? Now that I'm on my second film, people, oh, hey, I'd like to be a part of that, or what can I do to be a part of that? And that's always great. Now that I've made this, the budget for this was under $100,000, so we made it very cheap.
Yeah, which is, and it sounds like a lot to me, but I know in film sense it's
and that's full pre to post. That's everything.
Right.
We used our house. We used every friend in the neighborhood. We used calling every favor we possibly could in order to get this done. So now for the next one, I'm hopeful that I can find someone, an investor, someone that'll maybe put up some money, make it a little bit easier. Putting it out of your own pocket is just, you can only do that so many times before eventually it's like, all right, we got to make the change at this point.
And how stressful is that doing it? Because with filmmakers, I know sleepless nights, because you're always trying to get the budget in.
Yeah.
You've got to. I mean, that must be a devilishly difficult thing to sort of spin.
It is. Well, I actually still have a full-time job, so this is what I do on my my spare time. And fortunately, I have a very very understanding wife and family, 3 daughters that take care of a lot of the things when I'm doing the filmmaking. So I work from 8 to 6 on the regular job, and then my evenings and weekends are spent either promoting the film, working on the pre-production, post-production side. So it's just a never-ending process.
And you said about, luckily you had other stuff behind you which helped get some backing in. But did that, and because I'd seen your previous work, did that extend to Kevin and Tom? I mean, were you fortunate that they had seen the film? Did you have to pitch it from scratch and to try and get, as well as other cast and crew? Of course.
Yeah, sure. Well, Kevin is someone I've worked with before. So he was actually in the first film that I did, a film called Wingman Inc.
Right.
We did a short film together, which is actually my first little taste of directing. I wrote and directed a short film called Death's Door. which sounds bad, but it's actually a romantic comedy as well. It was only 5 minutes long.
There's a theme here.
Yeah, there is. But then Brandon Heitkamp, who's another producer on the film, he and I have worked together about 7 or 8 different times on either things that I've written and produced. I was primarily a writer before Bad Frank. So we brought a lot of the cast and crew together very quickly. Russ Russo, who plays Nico in the film, he was also one of the co-writers on the film. Once the original script was done, he had a lot of tweaks and changes into it, but he was a friend of Kevin's. So a lot of the film was very organic in the way that we kind of built it. So we had some people that were initially right on board, they knew someone and brought someone in. The way we found Tom Sizemore, someone knew his agent, so we were able to get in touch with him. We sent him the script, and at the time Tom was trying to work in other projects that would really help kind of jumpstart his career. He'd been at a point where things were kind of in a lull, and he was looking to really get things going. He liked the script, showed up on set, and was great. Ray Boom Boom Mancini, he's world champion boxer. I grew up watching his fights on TV. Kevin knew him or knew someone who knew him. All of a sudden it was like, let's send him an email, see if he's interested. He's getting involved in production at this point, and he's acting. But mostly the parts he'd done were boxing type roles. He wanted to do something a little different, and this gave him the opportunity to do that. We only worked with him for 2 days, but I couldn't have had a nicer guy. He was the nicest guy you could possibly imagine. We got to work with Brian O'Halloran from Clerks, the Kevin Smith movies. And another person, someone knew him, we sent him the script.
Sort of like friends of friends, always helpful.
Absolutely. We're Jersey strong, we call it, right? So we filmed at New Jersey, I'm from New Jersey, Kevin's from New Jersey. So we have a pretty close-knit community there, and people just know each other. We just started, hey, do you know this guy, do you know that guy? Yeah, I can put you in touch with him, it'll be great, he'll love it. And it just worked out. We filmed the whole thing in just 12 days, so it was
amazing.
Really nice and easy.
I mean, it sounds like you're a bit of a master of keeping things lean and tight, obviously, again, with your background. So do you, when you're sitting down to write the script, are you aware of all, I suppose you've got to be aware of that, because you're not going to have massive CGI in there or, costumes that are from the 1950s, but are you continuously thinking about that as you're on the script? Or, for instance, would you like write a piece and we'd like to hang on a minute, budgetary constraints, that's got to go?
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, you have to do that, right? I mean, I have a friend in town who owns a funeral parlor. So my next script, I'm making sure I have a scene in a funeral parlor because he said I could use it anytime I want.
Brilliant.
So how cool could that be? You have the caskets in the background, a really cool scene with that, and he's all for it. So you kind of write with that in mind because you only have so much budget you can use. From a timing perspective, in the next film, I'm trying to do everything local. I like sleeping in my own bed at night. It's really an advantage to that. Yeah. So if I can find all places that are local and just film there, that's great. And so when I write scenes, I try and think, what's going to look good, what can actually fit well for what we need to do from a logistics perspective, and just kind of piece it all together. It's just like a puzzle.
And do you have like a timeline where, I know you've got a regular job, a full-time job, but are you looking towards the future thinking, okay, 2, 3, 5 years, what I really want to be doing, or is there a long-term plan to exit that and do this full-time?
Absolutely. Don't tell my boss that, but yeah, there's absolutely a long-term plan. For Bad Frank, we already have an international sales agent. We have
Excellent.
A sales agent. We're just about to get distribution domestically as well in the States. So once that's done, I'm sure it takes a little while to recoup the money that I've put up, but the hope is within 2 years I'll be able to transition totally over into just film. I'm not a spring chicken. I know I look very young, but it's time to make the change. And it took me a long time to get here. So I want to make sure that everything I do kind of positions me toward that. So the end game is definitely there. Yeah. It's just, keep pushing.
And how do you, talk to me about the marketing, because again, I know from interviewing lots of filmmakers that, particularly ones that are newbies, and you're not, I hope you don't mind me saying it. So again, when you're doing the pre-production, writing the script, I'm guessing you've always got a plan in mind, okay, this is the film we're going to make, we're getting there, okay, I'm going to market this. Is that, again, always in the back of your mind how you're going to, not just festivals,
yeah.
I mean, there's all sorts of, I don't know, digital media you might be doing, websites, keywords, and I don't honestly know, but is there a game plan with that whilst you're working? And one of the filmmakers I spoke to yesterday, he said, okay, whatever my budget's going to be, I've got to make sure we now set aside half of that towards the marketing plan.
Absolutely. Well, there's a couple different things. So first of all, when you're looking at the cast, it's kind of a delicate balance, right? You obviously want the best people you can get, but you also have to look at, who can I put in the film that potentially can really help sell the film? Right. So when we got Tom Sizemore, we know he's a great name. He's been in some great films.
And everyone knows him.
Everybody knows him, right? So getting him in the film and getting him at such a low rate was great for us. What we paid for him is ridiculously low, just because he liked the script and really thought it would be great for him. And he, kudos to the people in the film. He said that, personally pulled us aside and said he thought this was one of his top 3 performances. So for me, I'm thinking, God, he was directed by Spielberg, by Oliver Stone, and and me. I'm like, well, that's crazy. So to hear that was awesome. So, but realistically, we had to look at what can he bring into the film, and tremendous amount. So it was a no-brainer when we had the opportunity to get him.
Oh, because of course what you're effectively getting as well as a great actor, then suddenly that's helping with your marketing because it pushes it to another level.
Absolutely. Internationally too. I mean, that was a big thought process for us is, who can we get that's going to help us sell it overseas? Because that's, you hope that to be close to 50% of your net revenue coming in, right? Because that's a huge component. In the post-sale or a post-production component, we've done a tremendous amount from a marketing perspective. So we've worked with Twitter experts. So we're doing a whole campaign around Twitter. We were very fortunate to work with JoeBlow.com, which is a very big movie site, review site. And they gave us a glowing review of the film, and they liked us so much that once our film comes out, they're going to promote it to their 1 million+ subscribers. So we just hired a PR person. So we're doing a lot on the back end, but we've been very fortunate to find people that are hungry, that are not that expensive. Because obviously the PR component of it, that can be a huge cost, huge, right? Sometimes it's equal to the amount of the budget of the film. This is a low budget film, so we can't afford all that much. So we have guys on our team who are just, they're hustlers. They're scratching and clawing for everything that we can get. So we find someone that we think can help. All right, if you can help us, we'll do everything we can to help promote you. So the great thing about indie film is everyone's looking out for each other. So we're working with some great people that we're now doing stuff for them to help promote their stuff as well. So the good thing is everyone's trying to elevate everyone to the next level. So I can't tell you how important that's been to us and to the people that we've been working with.
And what was the hardest and best part about making this film?
The hardest part? I have to say the filming was a piece of cake. We prepped for it really hard. We made sure that from day one everything was going to go as smoothly as possible. We had some experienced actors and producers on the film that we really looked out for any contingency that might go wrong. Like if we thought this possibly could go wrong, we had a plan for it.
Right.
And we were very fortunate that everything went smoothly. The coolest thing that happened is on the last scene in the film, you kind of the big shootout at the end and everything. We filmed it overnight. It was hard shooting it through the night. We had Tom in the rain and everything, but the great thing about it is we filmed it linearly, and the rain got progressively harder throughout. Right. And I mean, you would pay tens of thousands of dollars for that type of production value, and we got it for free. Everything was so serendipitous. It just worked out so perfect. I couldn't have planned it any better. The last shot of the scene, Kevin and his wife in the film and his actual wife are sitting in front of these 2 headlights, and you just see the water drip coming down. It just looks amazing. So fantastic. We couldn't ask for anything better.
And are you able to give us a clue what your next project is that you've got lined up? Rom-com?
Not exactly. It's actually a rape revenge film.
Right. Okay.
So this is another one that just popped into my head. I don't know what it is, but sometimes when I wake up in the morning, the first thought that I have, that's going to be a film at some point. So I came up with this rape revenge. It's called The Price for Silence. And actually, the woman who plays Crystal in the film, her name is Lynn Mancinelli. Her and I started writing the script. So the script is actually done now, but I brought it to her and I said, hey, listen, I've got an idea for this. What do you think? And I'm a pretty mild-mannered guy. I thought maybe she might think I'm a little weird, or it might be a little too much. Yeah, she's like, you know what? I think we should go further. We should do this, and I should be doing this here. And I was like, done. Let's go. Let's do it. So the script is done. It's pretty much ready to go. It's a matter of a couple of tweaks here and there of the characters. Now it's going out and finding who are the actors that we want. Who can we actually get? And of course, the big question is how are we going to pay for it? So if we find the right people, we can either do it for $100,000 or we can do it for $500,000. Depending on what cast you get, or you know, all the locations and stuff are pretty much set already. So it's just, you know, where you get the funding and how you build it from there.
Now, I hope you don't mind me saying this, we're of an age of seeing film change
Sure.
from 35mm all the way through to it's a video on demand, digital, and
Yep.
so on and so forth.
Yep.
Where do you think we're going to be in 5 years' time? Not 10 years, I think it's too different, but say 5 years. Because the market's changing so quickly.
Sure, sure. I think it's all going to be on demand. I think people are going to watch, you know, first day films right in their living room. I think that's where it's going.
And does that include the death of cinema, do you think?
I don't think it's fully going to be the death of cinema. I think it's going to head into a much more of an event production, almost like a Broadway play.
Right.
You know, where, you know, people spend $65, $75 a ticket for a Broadway play, or even, you know, more if it's Hamilton, something like that. But I think it's going to be more of an event where people will spend, you know, $50 to go to this really plush cinema to be able to see things, and maybe even they'll add more things to the event rather than just the film.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be double features, right, where you'd see 2 films as opposed to just one.
Absolutely. I can remember, yeah.
Not to date ourselves,
No,
but yeah,
those days are
that
long
was
gone.
a while ago, and you know, that's the sort of thing. I think it's going to head back in that direction because, you know, a lot of times when people go to the cinema, you know, you're worried about people kicking the chair behind you and on their cell phones, and they kind of ruin the experience sometimes. So I think they're going to make it much more attractive for people to come, where they, you know, maybe it's secular booths where everyone has the one little booth that they sit in with their 4 or 5 seats.
Right.
Almost like when you go to an amusement park and you go on the virtual rides, where you have your own little section that you go into. I could see that sort of thing happening, where they give you the really great seats and the waiter service and, you know, booze and food and everything, but you still have the full scale experience. For to me, going to the movies is so much better. You know, seeing it on the huge screen and the sound and everything. I just lose myself for 2 hours at a time that way. I don't care if it's the best movie in the world or a so-so movie. You know, for those 90 minutes, you got me. You know, I'm yours. Do what you want. Show me anything you can. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I use the Star Wars one. I mean, I saw it at the cinema, the latest one, and it was amazing on screen. And probably like I got home cinema, it's fantastic at home, great.
Yep.
But seeing on the big screen,
there's nothing like it.
I'm not going to the new Star Wars film in a couple of weeks' time.
Rogue One, I can't wait.
I can't wait. So, but you're right. I mean, for all its flaws, there's still nothing that beats seeing on the huge, great screen.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Tony, thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Pleasure.
And congratulations. Really appreciate your time. Thanks.
I just don't know what to do right now. I need help.
Frankie, I don't know what to tell you, man. I got nothing else to give you.
Dad.
I've done everything I
Dad,
can.
come on.
Frankie.
I don't know what to do. Please.
Some things you're gonna have to figure out for yourself, Frankie.
Figure out for myself.
Yeah.
And you hear what I just fucking said?
Frankie.
You hear what I just said? Take it easy. What you want to say what I said?
Let go of my arm.
That's my wife and I'm your fucking son.
Let go of my arm, Frankie.
I'm your fucking son. You know what to help me? I'm your fucking son.
Frankie, stop! Let him go, Frankie! Stop!
Where you going, motherfucker? Come here. Fuck over here, you fucking piece of shit. I'll kill you, you fucking goddamn motherfucker. That's my fucking daughter! You goddamn motherfucker! I'll kill you, you son of a bitch! Look at me. No. Say thank you, God! You're the fucking goddamn psychopath right now! You're with me now! You ain't over there! You ain't in high school! I gotta realize I'm a kid by accident. I gotta keep you alive. I need to find my daughter, okay? Okay, say thank you, God.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you,
Now we're
God.
getting somewhere. Okay? I fear him. Now, when I show him this, you will wish you never were born.
He's gonna give you something that you'll never, no one ever fucking ever know about. And he ain't gonna let you die.
Okay, gonna cut off your arms, your legs, your fucking eyes, take your fucking arms off your dick, and then put you in the corner like, keep your brain intact though. Put you in the corner like a fucking plant and piss on you. You get it? You don't know shit about him. But you're gonna find the fuck out.